I'd like to ask Matthew Mamon to come to the stage. Matthew was Hunter's first-year roommate at Syracuse.
First, you might be wondering why I'm wearing this bow tie. I gotta say, it's the one article of clothing Hunter could never get from me. But I digress. Hunter has been the closest person that I've ever had to a brother. From day one, we connected, and right away we were inseparable. Through thick and thin, you were as there for me as I was there for you. Imagine traveling across the Atlantic for school, not know who luck would put on my path. And even though the smell of rotting food was omnipresent in his room, which was also kind of a war zone, I could not have asked for a better roommate. When my lovely girlfriend Julie stayed with us in Delplane for 2 weeks, she offered to help him clean his room. Hunter told her that it was a lost cause because he was, and I quote, an asshole. Julie did not know what that meant, and after explaining the meaning of the word, he took it upon himself to teach her the proper pronunciation of the term. I'd leave for class, and when I came back, I'd hear this back and forth of asshole, 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 no, asshole. Hunter, you touched the life of each person in this room today in ways that you might not even have known, and your spirit lives through us all, and each and every one of us. The majesty of your life has been so phenomenal that not even your death can undermine it. Brother, we miss you and love you always. Thank you.
That word sounds so much better with the French accent, doesn't it? Jordan Parent, would you come to the stage? Jordan is Hunter's lovely sweetheart. Oh, timing. Timing is everything. Matt Kim, one of the Potomac Band of Brothers.
Okay, I had this memorized, and then the birthday video thing happened, so that was a curveball. But hey, everyone, I'm Matt. I know there's a lot of emotion in the room, a lot of sadness, and I completely understand that, and I get that. But Hunter was a ridiculous, idiotic, hilarious, happy guy who I genuinely never once saw sad, like literally not once. To be sad and sulky during this time would be dishonest to Hunter's memory. So I'm going to try and keep this lighthearted with a sort of smile because it happened attitude. I might even try and inject some humor. I know it's a tough crowd because it's a memorial service, but if you want to laugh, that would help me out. As many of you know, Hunter and I have been best friends since a very young age, and we've been practically inseparable for many years. His girlfriend even used to claim that we were actually secretly gay lovers together. Anyway, I'm going to tell a story about my first kiss. It wasn't Hunter. Sorry to disappoint. But he was very involved in this story, as he is with pretty much any story I have. So it's 7th grade, and I'm in the middle of my very gracious transition from boyhood to adulthood, with a sweet rack of braces and thoughtfully placed acne across my face. Hunter and his family, being the ridiculously generous people they are, had taken me out to spend spring break with them in Mustique, a beautiful island in the Caribbean that many of you are familiar with. And a big topic of discussion was how I had yet to kiss a girl, unlike the coolest 7th grader of all time, Hunter Watson, who'd gotten his first kiss decades ago. But I meet someone special, a beautiful English 9th grader, and that sounds weird, but I was in 7th grade, so it was okay. It was actually pretty cool stuff, like big league stuff. And, you know, we're talking, we're hitting it off, we chat about how I watch The Office and she watches The Office, and how I own a cat and a dog, and she once owned a cat and a dog. And, I mean, This is the stuff of dreams, like this is it. And then Hunter, my ridiculously confident 7th grade rock star friend, swoops in, chats her up, starts speaking in French with her, and then I knew it was over when he started swing dancing to some European dance music. I can see this girl practically falling in love with him, as so many have. Feeling betrayed, I emotionally flicked my Bieber-style hair and sat alone down on the beach, playing some angsty Green Day off my iPod Touch. A few minutes later, to my surprise, the same girl meets me on the end of the beach with a smile. She tells me how Hunter spent their dance telling her what an amazing friend I was and what an amazing guy I was in general, with so many accomplishments all over the world. I'm fairly certain Hunter fibbed quite a bit on my behalf. But I didn't care. I flashed my red, white, and blue braces at her, and it was on. We shared a horrible, horrible tonguey kiss. Like, I literally never saw her again. Never saw her. It was pretty bad. But I didn't care. I'd gotten my first kiss, and I was the man, all thanks to my best friend, Hunter. We hugged and celebrated with some virgin pina coladas. It was a huge moment in my life. Or this is kind of a crappy story, but it's one of the early examples I can think that encapsulates Hunter. He was a cocky, overconfident, charming, amazing guy who could really piss me off at times, but a guy who could also bring so much joy to my life in an instant. As insanely tragic as this is, I'm so happy that I got to spend the best years of my life with the best friend and the best guy I'll ever meet. I'll forever cherish the years we shared together with literally no regrets. You lived 20 incredible years, and I'm so happy to have spent many of them with you. I love you, Hunter, and I miss you so much.
Jordan, were your ears burning? Were your ears burning? Would you like to come to the platform? Jordan is Hunter's lovely sweetheart.
Dear Hunter, I could write a very large novel about our weird, crazy relationship. However, there are 4 words that especially come to mind when I think of the time I've spent with you these last 2 years. Safety, happiness, adventure, and of course, love. Whether it was near or far, I've never felt safer, and you made sure of it. Whether it was the not 1 but 2 cans of pepper spray you had delivered to my dorm room and constantly asked to ensure that I was carrying one around campus at all times, or something like what happened just the other week when we were hanging out at Matt Kim's house and we were swinging on the big porch swing, and I guess we must have consumed too much at dinner that night because all of a sudden the chain broke and we both plummeted to the ground. I think I might have fallen about all of 10 inches, but you immediately jumped to your feet with so much concern and helped me up, asking me about a dozen times whether I was okay and if anything hurt. I couldn't stop laughing because I had literally fallen only a few inches and you were acting as if I had fallen off a cliff. But it is moments like these that I know you are always looking out for me and that you care for me immensely just as I do for you. Happiness. Our favorite story to tell about our Bonnaroo experience of 2015. The very last day when we thought for some reason that if we just put the eggs that had been laying out in the Tennessee heat for 4 days on the fire, everything would be fine. Well, we spent that day in the medical tent. I will never forget that day of constant getting sick to the point we had to be wheeled to the emergency medical tent. We were both just sitting there in our gurneys, continuously being sick, but there wasn't a single moment where we were upset. In an incredibly miserable situation, we are smiling and laughing the whole time, because that's what you bring to me, Hunter, true happiness, no matter the situation. There are about 1 million instances in which you have made me feel like the luckiest girl in the world, but I want to point out one more moment of pure bliss. We were driving around McLean, and I have no recollection of why, but I was upset about something. Sensing my mood, you immediately pulled off into some park and took me deep into the woods and put Dancing in the Moonlight on your phone. Actually, it was my phone because you never had a phone. Anyways, we swung danced the whole song in the woods in clear daylight, and my mood was instantly lifted. I will never forget that moment because I knew I was falling for you hard after that adventure. Going on a date with you was never a let's go to dinner and then a movie. It was a come to my house at 6 and wear something nice or something that you don't mind getting dirty in. I was never in the loop with whatever odd plans you had cooked up for us, whether it was going to see roller derby, going to medieval times, or trapezing around the Syracuse Mall. The adventurous side of me will forever be sparked because of you. I've never met someone more intent on having a good time in the weirdest way. I mean, really, who goes to medieval times unless you're on a 4th grade field trip? Love. August 8th, 2015, the first time you told me that you loved me. On the beautiful beach of Mustique after we stayed up all night so we could watch the sunrise, I still remember the exact feeling after you said those 3 words to me. I love you. I've never loved someone beyond a family member or friend, and I feel so blessed to have shared this feeling with you. It is entirely indescribable, and I know it is eternal. You are truly one of a kind, Hunter, and being my best friend, as well as my boyfriend, has made me grow in ways I didn't know possible, and I can never thank you enough for that. Now, I feel it only fitting to end this letter with some Kanye West lyrics, as you bore his words on your own chest so prominently. Our love, Hunter, is so amazing and incredible and unexpected, and it will continue on forever. The only thing I can think to compare that love to is like waves, and waves don't die, baby. With more love than you will ever know, Joe.
Jason Reef. Jason is one of the Syracuse Three Musketeers. Is he hiding? Oh, there you go.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to keep this nice and short, and I wanted to thank the family for giving me the opportunity to speak today. For the past couple weeks, I've been recovering random memories of Hunter and I through our entire friendship, and there's one memory that stuck out that I will always laugh about. As you all know, Hunter wasn't very organized. I would say he lost his student ID every 1 to 2 weeks. So whenever he lost it, Hunter always used my ID to get into the building. And this made it kind of problematic to get in together since we were using the same ID. That's when the passback was born. Hunter and I would walk into the dorm, and I'd flash my ID at the security guard and keep walking. Hunter would check his pockets and go, "Hey Jason, I think you have my ID card." And then I would start frantically checking my pockets and give him my ID. Surprisingly, this worked all too well. We did this almost everywhere we went. Every single dorm we got into, the cafeteria, even the bars. We thought it was the funniest thing. We eventually wanted to see how little effort we could use to pull it off. I would walk in, show my ID, and Hunter would say, "Hey Jason, you have my ID." And within the security guard's vision, I would hand him the same ID I just used. This worked as well, which was almost alarming. There was only one time it didn't work. Hunter had lost his student ID and driver's license at this point. We tried doing the passback, and the security guard noticed our tactic. She recommended if Hunter lost his student ID, that I sign him in with his state ID, which he didn't have. So under the table, I slid Hunter my state ID, which we tried signing him in that way. The security guard looks up, and she obviously knows what we're doing. She says to me, "These are both of your IDs." and Hunter said, "Nah, I'm Jason too." So we didn't get into the building until our shift was over. As small and stupid as the passback was, it was one of the funniest things to do with Hunter because it was a part of our daily routine. Hunter was a huge part of my life, and I'm so grateful I got to spend as much time as I could with him. I love him. Thank you.
These stories get better and better. Liam Cato, Potomac Band of Brothers.
Hello, everybody. Just want to say, looking upon this crowd right now, I know Hunter would be happy that during his life he was able to touch so many people's hearts. Hunter Brooks Watson. When I hear that name, I think of so many things. A brother, a friend, someone who inspired me to never be afraid to fail, to never give up on my goals, to always persevere through pain and frustration. He was someone who always had time for his friends, and I mean always. It didn't matter if he had work or was in trouble. His usual response to hang out was, "Yeah, man, come on over to Dolly." Hunter's house was like everyone's second home. The countless summer weeks I spent in the Watson house eventually led to me getting my own lost and found bin, as well as the never-ending frustration of having my clothes disappear and then reappear on Facebook pictures with Hunter wearing them. There were so many times that the boys were cramped in the downstairs apartment, praying that Mr. and Mrs. Watson would not come down to discover that there were 40 people in their basement doing God knows what. I'd like to share a story with you guys that speaks to Hunter's larger-than-life character. So during our freshman year in high school, our spring break, Hunter, Will, Matthew, Dee and I made the trip down to Panama City Beach, which was a place that Hunter claimed to be the spring break capital of the world. Though Hunter was correct, I don't think he realized that the majority of the people there were in college and they were in their 20s, but that did not thwart our plans to fully experience the spring break capital of the world. So one night, we decided, we developed a plan to get into a popular nightclub that included one of us sneaking in, hiding until it was well enough packed and no one would notice 4 high school guys, and get the rest of us in. Hunter immediately volunteered, hopped the fence that seemed the least guarded, and disappeared. For the next 4 hours, we did not hear from him. Wondering if he had been caught or had actually gotten into the club. As we were contemplating giving Dee the familiar call that we had lost Hunter and had no idea of his whereabouts, we saw him casually strolling up to us. When we impatiently asked him what took him so long and where he had been, he replied, "I was just waiting in the bathroom until I could get you guys in, but I got kicked out by a bouncer," to which I could only reply with laughter and joy. My friend, Hunter Watson, hid in a dirty nightclub bathroom stall with no phone for 4 hours, just so he could get his best friends to be in there with him. So rare is it to find the qualities that existed within Hunter. He was someone who loved his family, his friends, and life itself. He was one of the few people I know that truly lived for the moment and never worried about tomorrow. I always envied that about him. He had a true appreciation for living in the now and living to the fullest. Though it is bittersweet, there is something beautiful about the fact that Hunter will forever be 20 years old. His spirit will forever be bright, young, and filled with passion. And I'd like to close with a quote by Jack Kerouac. "The only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, 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 like a fabulous yellow Roman candle exploding like spiders across the stars, and in the middle you see a blue center light pop and everyone stares in awe." Hunter was one of those people. Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. I'd like to welcome Teddy Watson to the stage.
Hi. For the record, I only duct tape Hunter to the chair once. I wasn't going to say anything, thought it might be too hard, but yesterday about 15 people came up to me and said their own very slightly different versions of the same story. They'd say something like, you know, when I was your age, I went to this funeral and I couldn't get up the courage to speak, and then I regretted it for the rest of my life. So thanks for that. So I don't have anything really prepared. Someone suggested that if there's anything I still wanted to say to Hunter, maybe this would be a good time. So I'm going to try and do that, and I'm going to be really brief, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more stories from some of Hunter's closest friends. Okay, Hunter, I know how lucky I am to have had you as a little brother, and how lucky I am to have had the childhood that we had together. I know I should have appreciated you a lot more while you were still here. It's amazing to see how many lives you touched, and I know that my life will never be the same without you. I'm confident that you'll never be forgotten. I know some of us will still be talking about Hunter's exploits when we're old men and women. It always amazed me how we were so different and also so similar at the same time. People keep telling me that you looked up to me, but in many ways, I saw you as a smarter, more talented, more charismatic version of myself. Sometimes I don't believe you're really gone. I don't believe this day is really happening. Yesterday, when we were running around getting everything set up for this, a friend of mine said, "This whole thing feels like we're just planning a big surprise birthday party." And that's how it feels. It feels like you're about to walk in the door. I think that Hunter, I love you. I miss you. Most of all, I wish that you could stay. Thank you.
Thank you, Teddy. Would Dylan Gaines, who was Hunter's Syracuse Phi-Psi pledge classmate.
It's really an honor to be here to speak about Hunter. It's been incredible to witness the outpour of support from the Syracuse community. I speak for all Hunter's friends and fraternity brothers when I say we've been receiving hundreds of messages and having many conversations about Hunter. It's comforting and humbling to see everyone come together. You lived your life so beautifully. You carry yourself with a strong sense of confidence, passion, and happiness. Your happiness is impenetrable, which is the realest quality a person should strive for. Your person and mannerisms are so true that they are not subject to any situation. One of our friends said so well, Hunter was the best at being himself. After I had the pleasure to spend the weekend last summer in your parents' home with your family and our friends, it began to make sense to me. The unconditional love that your parents gave you allowed you to become an excitable, loving, goofy adult. The power of this love is so immense that it allowed you to achieve something that most people will not achieve in their lifetime, which is the ability to go through life the exact way you want to. A great story in my eyes depicts a classic Hunterism. Our fraternity had our spring formal where we take a date to Toronto for the weekend, and Hunter brought his girlfriend, Jordan. She ended up misplacing her passport. Hunter comforted her, never making her feel out of place or like she messed up. I asked Hunter what he would do if they couldn't get back in, and he calmly told me they'd just get a hotel by Niagara Falls, have a good time, and figure it out. We will continue to honor Hunter when we go back to school and learn from his unique personality. We will additionally be holding a memorial service at Syracuse, and we are working on programs and initiatives to honor him through our fraternity. Hunter was loved everywhere he went, and he will continue to be loved. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Mark Ramsey to come up. Mark is another Band of Brothers member.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of our tribe, it is with tremendous love and admiration that I join all of you today to bid our final farewell to our dear, kind, and magnificent friend, Hunter. Hunter Brooks Watson. Caring, steadfast, comic, so suave, the boss. This was the guy who changed the trajectory of every life and situation he touched. Just when you thought that life couldn't get any better, Hunter showed up with his unique spontaneity and kind-hearted personality. He lit up the room whenever he entered. His radiant smile, witty personality, and commitment to family and friends influencing each and every one of our lives. Family and friends meant the world to Hunter. Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson, Teddy. He loved you so passionately. He beamed when he spoke of you. Hunter had the irreplaceable gift of a mother, father, and brother who knew nothing mattered more than caring for their loved ones. More so than anyone I've ever had the pleasure to call my friend, Hunter never got too far ahead of himself, ensuring that his every action was grounded in what mattered most, the now. His parents, brother, relatives, and friends, what I'll call Hunter's tribe, brought tremendous joy to his life. He treated them all as his own. Hunter took pride in his vast network of family and friends without even taking a single friendship for granted. He was always sure to cheer you up when you were down, serve as a listening ear when you needed advice, or simply provide the good company of a friend when you were feeling alone. Hunter Watson was most avid about one thing: life. He loved being surrounded by people and embodied the phrase, "never met a stranger." His cackling laugh left a lighthearted impression on all of us. His passion for music was infectious, his smile engaging, and his ability to make a good time out of any situation most memorable. My kindergarten buddy, Hunter, had a colossal zest for life. He maintained a childlike delight, boundless energy, and uncontrollable passion that constantly reminded me of the endless joys in life. He was our tribe leader. He didn't think twice about bringing us along on his journeys. Hunter's enthusiasm was so great that it swept us along with him. We typically had no idea where he was going or what he was doing. We just wanted to be there along with him. Because wherever Hunter went, he went full-heartedly and fully engaged. He brightened our lives with his tremendous passion and grace. Hunter defined one taken from us too soon, having lived a life full of accomplishments and countless highlights. The truest testimony of my buddy Hunter will not be in the words I speak today, but rather in the way in which he lived his life. The dash, as it is called, that little symbol that comes between the day you were born and the day after you die. That is all that matters, what one does with their dash. Hunter lived his dash to the fullest. For a young guy, he lived more experiences, listened to more live music shows, and visited more places than most people have the opportunity to do in a lifetime. Music of all kinds was Hunter's favorite, where his love for new and different sounds, for exchanging ideas, and for bonding with friends flourished. Bonnaroo will forever be etched into my soul as the pinnacle of the friendship we shared. Boss Watson lived every day to the fullest. He didn't waste time. He had a restless spirit of discovery, an insatiable desire to learn and know more. While we would often butt heads and disagree, Hunter always impressed me with his ability to balance his deep-seated enthusiasm to be right with a kind respect of opinion. Hunter learned with zeal and compassion, constantly trying to include the ones he cared about most in his experiences of the world. He lived his life wonderfully. His virtues of sincerity and creativity shined brightly each and every day of his life, in everything that he did. He was a larger-than-life character with a hilariously mischievous, rascal-like sense of humor. There was never a dull moment with Hunter, always blowing us away with his endless imagination and ability to bring people together. Look how he's brought us together today. He loved enticing people to do the unimaginable. He created sheer joy for anyone who graced his presence. Hunter was truly that guy that we could not get enough of. Every man wanted to be him, and every female, plain and simple, wanted him. He had a way of focusing on someone with a total attention, as if there was not another person on the planet. Hunter made life better for us all. He was the essence of compassion, style, and of grace. Boss, I love you like a brother, and I know that you'll continue onwards with us in spirit. Your passion forever etched into our hearts. You were taken from us too soon, and yet we must reflect and be thankful that you came along at all. Thank you for the way that you brightened our lives. Thank you for the treasured moments that you left us. I will forever be proud to call you my friend. Love you, buddy.
That word rascal keeps on cropping up, doesn't it? I'd like to bring Matthew to the stage. Matthew is Hunter's brother by another mother. Can you make it, buddy?
I didn't have a speech prepared because I didn't know it was going to come up, but I didn't want to regret it, like what Teddy said. I'm the only child of my family, and Hunter was my only brother, and I miss him so much. He wasn't my best friend, he was my brother. I don't want him back so bad. We spent so much time together ever since we were in both our moms' tummies, so that's how long we knew each other. He could get away with pretty much anything. I wanted, to be honest, I wanted to be more like him, but I think he wanted to be more like me too, so I miss him so much. Because we both needed each other, but we never said it to each other. And Hunter, I really need you in my life, but I'll always love you, man. You're my brother forever, my only brother. I miss you so much, Hunter.
You're the best man. Good job. When Hunter and Matthew were little boys, for some reason they delighted in tormenting me, and I would end up wrestling and fighting with them, but they always came back for more. I never understood him. Could Christopher Dale come to the stage, please? Another Potomac band of brothers.
I'd like to clarify that the instructors in kindergarten told us that we had to take them off the floor, the socks off the floor, but they didn't tell us where to put them, so. So I spent this last week thinking a lot about Hunter, how much he's affected my life, and I just pulled out my phone and I started speaking and I started writing down all the memories I had with him. It was really hard for me, and every memory would bring up another memory. I'd laugh and I'd smile, but I couldn't bring myself to share one of those memories with you guys tonight. Some of them were a little too inappropriate. Most of them led to us getting into a lot of trouble. Typically, it was a lot of fun, but we'd get in trouble after it. But I wrote this, and I'd like to share it. Hunter Watson was my friend. He was one of my closest and oldest friends. And I miss him. I missed him yesterday. I missed him today. I'm going to miss him tomorrow, and the day after that, and every day until I die. It's funny when I reflect on all the memories I shared with Hunter, and I'm thinking about it, the one thing that comes up in my head is his smile and his laugh. I miss all the times we shared together, but more importantly, the memories we made. I may not be able to see that smile again, or hear his laugh, but I know Hunter will live through me, his many friends, and most importantly, his family. His life was short-lived, but boy did Hunter know how to live it. and I am privileged to have been a part of it. I'm privileged to have been his friend, and I'm privileged to have been fortunate enough to share so many great times with him. As much as I hurt right now, I face the fact that I will never see Hunter again. But Hunter still brings me happiness when I think about the memories we had together. I miss you, Hunter. I love you.
Will Snape. Will is also one of the band of brothers.
For one of my classes this past semester, I listened to a TED Talk where a scientist explained why she became so passionate about biology. She said, "I'm constantly trying to make myself susceptible to wonder and conspiring to be part of the magic." Like so many things these past days, these phrases, susceptible to wonder and conspiring to be part of the magic, immediately made me think of Hunter. She wanted to talk about the thrill they get as scientists, being fortunate enough to have the opportunity to dive deeply into the lives of some truly wondrous creatures that share our planet. Hunter Watson, my friend, everyone here's friend, was a wondrous creature that I'm thankful I've shared the planet with. Over the past few weeks, our close group of guys has spent hours and hours and hours talking, and we're all aware that our configuration is forever changed without him. But I've also found a lot of comfort in how much I've laughed remembering all the ridiculous stories of the many ways Hunter shared his life with us. A lot of them have been told, and a good handful of these stories actually took place in this room, involved the 7 or 8 of us doing something we probably shouldn't have done. So I'm going to hold off on telling those, but there is one quick story I'd like to share that I think captures a lot of his more defining qualities. This has actually happened over winter break this past year. Hunter and I were getting dinner at this wing place on a very slow Thursday night. All of our friends had gone back to school, and I was totally content just eating the wings, watching sports, and going home. But Hunter had gotten a ticket to see some obscure artist named Marshmello at the 9:30 Club. It's weird. And that night he was throwing guilt trips and insults at me to try to get me to go, as any good friend would do. But I really didn't want to go. By this time, the tickets had already sold out, so I told him if he could find me a ticket, that I'd go with him. I was confident that the rest of my night would consist of me paying the bill and just driving home. And just to give some context here, at this point, Hunter had lost what I estimate to be about his 25th iPhone since I've known him. So he's using this iPad Pro, which is actually over there. You can see for yourself. It's like this big, in place of his cell phone. So if you can just sort of picture this visual, we're at a crowded family restaurant. Hunter's pacing around the room, simultaneously texting literally over 10 people on Craigslist, negotiating a fair price for a ticket, while also FaceTime calling someone on his massive iPad Pro. Meanwhile, people, including me, are looking at him like, who is this kid? What is he doing? Why is he so angry? Is he holding a television? But as absurd as he looked, eventually he hangs up and just looks across from me from the room with the most annoying smirks. And I knew he had outplayed me, and I would now be traveling over an hour to go to a concert I had no interest in going to. While that may sound like a story of Hunter just being a total doofus, it's one of my favorite Hunter stories because it perfectly captures how he always seemed to find a way to get things to go his way, and highlights that magical ability he had to make something out of absolutely nothing. We made it to that concert a little late, and it turned out to be one of the best nights of my winter break, actually. The scientist from the TED Talk that I talked about earlier actually specialized in the study of fireflies, and in it she talks about how the creatures create light. She asked, "What's with all the flashing? Are they talking to one another? And what happens after the lights go out?" She discussed how magically fireflies can transform our everyday landscape into something ethereal and otherworldly. We all remember the first time we saw a firefly, and how after 10, 20, even 50 years, the silent sparks rise up each summer and capture our attention. As the days, weeks, months, and years go on, we will all think of Hunter, often and deeply, with our own memories and in our own way. But each year, I hope that this community, everyone in this room, will remember Hunter Watson in a similar way, at a similar moment. In the early summer, sometime around June 18th, you'll see the first firefly of the season. It will flash brilliantly. Take that moment, pause, and remember Hunter. Remember how he too flashed brilliantly. I know I will. Thank you.
I definitely recognize that expression, Will. You nailed him. Connor Sweeney, Band of Brothers.
It's still incomprehensible to me that this is real. That I'm standing on this stage commemorating one of the lives of my best friends. I put off writing this until last night. In a strange way, perhaps I thought if I did not write it, then perhaps it did not happen. However, I got stuck trying to come up with one story that would fully define the great man, an even better friend, that Hunter was to me and was to all of us. Hunter brought everyone together and made everyone feel like they were the most important person in the room. He was selfless. Well, for the most part, he was selfless. Hunter's personality was electric, and his charisma was undeniable. If Hunter was here right now, he would find some way to either make everyone laugh or bury your face in your hands in utter shock. Either way, everyone in the room would remember his words. The kid had a trademark noise. Everyone who knows Hunter knew the loud woo that would signal to the world that he was excited about something. Whether it was going to a party, scoring a goal on the pitch with the boys, or beating us in video games. Also, Hunter's love for music was undeniable. Last time I heard the classic Woo was at Bonnaroo. I never thought it would come together. Getting us all together for a 4-day music festival in Tennessee. But classic Hunter, he pulled us all together. I will never forget the memories I have of Hunter dancing around like a wild man with that big smile on his face for 4 days straight. I love the kid, and I will think of him every day for the rest of my life. Hunter is a true legend now. Hunter would have loved to be here right now with all of us. He loved us all unconditionally. One time I accidentally headbutted Hunter, and he started bleeding. He was really mad initially, as he should be. But then within minutes, he shook it off and we were laughing together again. I expected he would fully return the favor and headbutt me again, but he never did. He was selfless. There are two people he loved more than us, his parents. He could not have loved his parents more. The insane parties, the days with the boys at the house, we will never forget those times. I will always be thankful for the Watsons for letting Hunter be Hunter. He loved you guys so much. We all take Hunter away with us in our soul. Thank you for giving Hunter to us. Hunter, you're a true legend. I love you, buddy.
Forrest Crane, another Band of Brothers boy. Is he here?
Hunter Watson, what a character. Hunter Watson truly will always live on in our hearts. He loved us, the Band of Brothers, his parents, Jordan. He left a mark on everyone he ever spoke to, anyone who ever came in contact with him. The smirk. I think we all can recognize it.
Thank you. there's someone who wasn't on my list, but I see him in the audience now. And I'd like him to, he's not been prepared for this, but I want to hear about this duct tape. Emmett Darman, would you come up? Quick? No? Come on. Just say a word. I'm putting you on the spot, but we want to hear the story.
I don't actually remember the story. Miss Watson, actually, she politely would always bring it up whenever I was over at their house. But yeah, I didn't go to Potomac for high school with these guys, so I didn't get to share the experiences that they've all talked about. But Hunter and I went out to dinner a couple times a week, and yeah, I don't know what to say, but I love him, and yeah, like Teddy, I'm glad that you called me on.
Thank you very much. I think we've had an amazing portrait of this lovely, lovely young man. The French novelist Émile Zola said, "If you ask me what I came into this life to do, I will tell you. I came to live out loud." Hunter Watson, you did that, my man. I will miss you so much.
Somewhere between my head and the floor of the sea, I found a place to hide out among the debris. But no one ever came to get me, so I sat and sang myself to sleep. When we went down to the lake to bring some memories, I watched your sister drown as she faltered underneath. It's funny how you never told your daddy that she fell in 'cause of me. And I can't have